Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brienne and this is Bresknits. If you're new here, hi again. My name is Brienne. I don't know what else to say for the beginning of this. Happy official spring, everybody. I know I came out with my spring inspirations mood board thing already, but that was maybe a week or so before the actual first day of spring, which was the 19th. Well, at least the equinox was the 19th. So yeah, this is my podcast. It's a video podcast because video podcasts do exist. Yeah, today we're just going to go ahead and go through the basic format of most podcast videos. I guess a little bit of an update. I don't know what I'd update you guys on, but an update nonetheless, I guess. I took a little bit longer to upload a video, which I mean, I guess it's like whatever. Like this is what our craft is, right? It's slow. I'm just showing you guys what's going on. But I did want to come out with a frogging my projects vlog. Nobody, I didn't like, well, I knew myself that frogging things, it's kind of a pain in the butt for me. Like a pain in the sense like, oh, like that's the thing I want. It's like literally like it just takes, like to me, it feels like it takes too long, which is crazy because like obviously knitting the project took a lot longer than frogging it. But we were kind of, so since I have a small baby now, he's growing really fast and wanting to stand and wanting to learn how to stand and balance and potentially walk soon. And so we had to baby proof things, and the way our setup was not baby proof appropriate. So it took a little bit to kind of get that done, at least in like the main living area. So like that's like the most important part because we're going to be spending a lot of our time here. At least like in the rooms that we baby proofed and everything. And so that took a little bit of time off my hands, and I wasn't able to knit as much. I also I surprised myself. There's like a brand new finished object that wasn't even in the last episode as like a WIP or anything at all. But I signed up to be part of a test knit with Fabel Knitwear, which is like crazy to say because I've knit a few of her patterns before, and I really love Fabel Knitwear's like overall aesthetic. To say like I test knit for her is crazy, but also like I test knit with baby project. I didn't test knit like a huge project. So I mean, that kind of took some time off on my hands as well, but it was made up with some pretty nice yarn that I really enjoyed. Like I said, it was a baby test knit. She's coming out with, well, she did come out with a scrappy junior advent sweater. I believe that's what I forgot what it was called, but she came out with it recently. And so it's like similar pattern. She came out with a Sailor Breton shirt for like adults. And so she's coming out with a Jr.Sailor Breton with Breton. It's with an E, so I'm guessing Breton. I've only ever like, it's like one of those words I've only ever seen spelt. And like I know what it is, but I've never heard it said out loud. I guess like there's words like that, right? So like that's one of them for me. But anyway, so I test knit that for her. I actually finished, the deadline's not for some time, but we can go ahead and talk about it. It's not a secret test knit or anything. I started it. I have a knitting notebook now too, which I might share also. Well, I guess that's what I'll share in my little update with you guys. But let me see. I started it March 3rd and completed it March 18th. And I knit the 18 to 24 month size. My baby is kind of tall, so he's kind of growing through things pretty quickly. But I have a feeling that when he starts walking, that'll slow down. And then usually like his tops are fine. It's just like pant legs are shorter on him if it's like his true like month size. It's not actually his size anymore, but I don't know if that makes any sense. Baby clothing is like insanely different all across the board, which is wild because, well, whatever. Anyway, so I made this little stripy sweater. The sweater is not high contrast, and that was I guess sort of intentional and not intentional at the same time. It was not intentional because I was I guess when I signed up for the project, I didn't intend on pairing these two together, but at the same time, intentional because I wanted to use the yarn I already had in my stash. It's kind of, I mean, I think that's like everybody on YouTube, their goal right now is to use up what they have. And I think especially now, because like inflation and stuff, like nobody's immune to that right now. So I'm just trying to work with what I have. Like even recently I've been thinking about making up a pair of overalls for my baby for the summer. I was like, I have to buy yarn for that. And then I was just like, you know what? I have some yarn that might meet that gauge, and I can just use that and like make it stripy if I really wanted, because I mean, he's gonna grow through it so quickly. Like, why? You know, that's just the vibe that I'm feeling right now. But yeah. So this is the Jr.Sailor Breton, and the yarn. It's two different companies. I feel like the camera is kind of doing it justice. I feel like on cameras, like I've tried taking pictures of this one, it's really hard to capture, but like in person, I don't see those white bits as much as I do whenever I take pictures of it, or like now you see more white portions. I do, however, the cuff and the neckline are seed stitch, and I really like how it looks on seed stitch. And I feel like a pair of socks in seed stitch would be really nice, or just garter with this yarn. But anyway, so the yarn is, the main color is Cashmere Cavern Sock from Explorer Knits and Fiber, and the colorway is the Cliffs of Moher. And the contrast stripe, so that blue, is actually a Stellina sock from Sorella Yarn, and the colorway Bistro. So like I had mentioned, I just went through my stash. I knit the 18 to 24 months, and I used, let me see my email to Helena. I believe I only used about 80 to 90. Okay, so for my main colorway, I used 80 grams, which means I have approximately about 87 yards left. So each skein was 100 grams of yarn. And so I have about 87 left of the main color. And in my contrasting color, I have about 91 grams of yarn left, which is about 398 yards slash 364 meters. The main colorway was also 79 meters. I don't think I gave the meterage, but 79 meters. But yeah, that I went through it pretty quickly, sent him my notes and feedback already. But it's so cute. I just put it on my baby this morning. It's already blocked and everything, which like I'm really happy about, because even though I've done stripes before, I did it where I cut the ends each row. So obviously like it puckered a lot. This time I carried the yarn through and it was still some puckering, which was quite frustrating, but it blocked out perfectly fine. The cashmere is predictably soft. It feels like, now I don't know a lot about fiber, so I'm not gonna like pretend that I do, I guess, but the fiber itself from like other superwash merino I've worked with, and I've also worked with the sock bases from Explorer Knits and Fiber that's superwash merino. Like the cashmere cavern sock feels more full, if that makes sense. Like it feels like in the I don't think I have an unblocked swatch or anything like that, but no, I don't have any. But when it was unblocked, it was very like, because the gauge on this was, forgot the gauge. I actually had to go up a needle size because I feel like in comparison to Fabel Knitwear's gauge swatches, I'm usually like tighter than she is. So I have to go up at least a half a needle size for most of the projects. And that was true of this one as well. So usually I think she had it 3.5 and then three millimeter needles, but I did 4 and 3.5. So because of that, with fingering weight, it was quite open. So that was like kind of made me nervous, but I was like, you know what, where I live, like it'll be fine. Like this could just be like a nice layering piece, or if he runs hot like my husband does, then it can be, you know, it'll be fine during the fall and winter months where he'll actually like fill in every space of this. But once I blocked it, it filled in the gaps really, really nicely. And like it feels more full. I don't know how to describe it. Like it just feels more full than superwash merino when blocked. And even the, like you can kind of tell that, I mean, obviously they're two different yarn bases, so you could tell the difference between the stellina and the cashmere. The stellina, I feel like there's an obvious demarcation when you look up close. Because again, it's like it is a superwash merino with nylon, and then of course the stellina in there as well. But it's just definitely like thinner, I feel like, and then the cashmere just feels more like it opens up and it definitely blooms really nicely. So I really liked that. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's a pretty straightforward pattern. I think the most difficult part is maybe the button band. You kind of just have to make sure you know what you're doing from there. And then after that, it's pretty easy. So, and it's really not even that difficult. You just have to pay attention to the button band. I made my button holes a little too close to each other, so I had to use two different buttons, a smaller one and a bigger one. But I kind of went with that. I don't think it really is that big of a deal. It's a baby sweater. The buttons I do appreciate because I have noticed that when there's clasps or buttons on like the side of a sweater, it is definitely a lot easier to get over a baby's head, especially depending on how big the baby's head is. Like I think just having the, even then, like even if your baby's head isn't that big, I feel like it's just easier for babies if you kind of just are able to slip it on easily instead of like having it get stuck here and then you having to like shimmy it down the best you can, because obviously like babies get frustrated when that happens. So I think that was really nice to have in the pattern. I'm trying to think of anything else to say. I think that's it. The pattern should be out in April, so hopefully you guys can knit one up as well. But yeah, that's my first finished object. I spoke about that for, I feel like, forever, but that's my first finished object and my first ever test knit for Fabel Knitwear, so that's exciting. The next finished object I actually just finished maybe a couple hours before filming this video. I just wanted to get it not done with, but there is a bit of a timeline crunch with this. But my next finished object is the Penelope kerchief. I haven't blocked this yet, so it's not looking its nicest, I don't think. But I made the 1 to 2 year old size, and this is going to be for my niece for Easter. So I have like, we got her a little basket of things inside of it, and I just wanted to add something a little special in there. So a little hair kerchief. I asked, again, this is like some yarn that I had in stash. I asked her mom, like, hey, because I have some, it's a bamboo yarn. So I should say, okay, so the yarn is Yarn Bee bamboo base. It's a DK base, and it's 100% bamboo, I think. If not, I have my Ravelry in the description and you can take a look at my stash. I think you can look at my stash. I think you can. Anyway, so it's a bamboo base yarn. I actually worked it up in 2 days. which is not too bad considering that the adult size is not that many more stitches far off. Like you could definitely get it done in a week if you had like to take breaks in between. It's really nice. I think I actually started it earlier to like this week, Tuesday, but I misread something. So my numbers were off and that was going to annoy me, especially because it's a lace panel and it's a gift for someone. So I ripped it back and started over a couple days ago. And with some breaks here and there, I finished today. So overall, I feel like it's more like a day and a half, all things considered, with breaks in between. If you didn't have any breaks, maybe you could finish the size in a day and a half. I am going to block it just to see. I don't really know if bamboo blocks well. So we'll see, I guess. But yeah, I had this yarn in stash and I had like a dark, like olive green and a sage green. And I asked her mom, like, hey, does she have like a favorite color right now? Or do you think like between pink and green? And she was like, oh, like whichever one is fine, but she does like brighter colors. So I think out of the greens and the pink, like this is definitely brighter. I didn't want to just go with pink because it's a girl color. But if she likes pink, then who am I to deny the girl pink? So I do like it. Someone in Ravelry on the comments said that it reminded them of strawberries. And while I was working it up, I could definitely see the strawberry look. So I thought that was really cute. I thought it was going to take up a lot more yarn than it did. Like I said, I was using stash yarn. I don't remember how much I had before, but it honestly didn't take up that much. I still have a ton. I have a full skein and like maybe a half left. So I'm going to make another one for my baby cousin. They're going to be coming, they live out of state and they're going to be coming to visit soon, soon-ish. And I definitely want to make her one. I asked her mama too, what color she likes. And apparently the girl is in love with all things pink. She has a pink little cup that she chose for herself. She has pink shiny Crocs that she chose for herself. So she's going to get a pink kerchief with a beautiful lace panel in the middle. I made her, when she was little, a like olive green romper. It was so cute. My aunt would send me pictures of her in it, and it was very, very cute and very adorable. So can't wait to see her in this. And yeah, anyway, so that's it. It is very easy once you get the hang of the chart, which I feel like everybody says about everything that's charted. I do notice like one side of the panel, my stitches are tighter versus the other side, which I don't really think makes sense to me. But like that, like in comparison, it's kind of annoying to me and frustrating. I kind of wish I did do it on like on wool, a wool base, because it would probably look a little bit nicer, but who knows, maybe when I block it, it'll, honestly, I don't know. I rely on blocking too much. I think that's just my hubris, but I'm hoping that it'll look nicer, I guess. And yeah, but definitely going to be making, yeah, this doesn't fit my head for sure. There's a 6 to year. It's kind of cute though. I love the color. It's a 6 to a year size, then 1 to 2. Then I think there's one more before the adult size. But I like it. I love how cute it looks. It's very simple. I feel like it's definitely a nice piece to have if you like wearing kerchiefs in your hair. I do in the summertime, like when my hair feels a little messy. I definitely like wearing a kerchief. But mine are all just like scarves I got or thrifted before. So I feel like this is cute and adds a little bit of interest. Like I said, I'm gonna make another one for my baby cousin, and then I want to make one. I have some leftover Sorella. It's a silk sock base, and I really like that base. and it's in a nice blue. It's called Horizon. I think it is part of her summer tonals. I do like it a lot, so I'm planning on making myself one as well. And I can't wait because it's a cute little piece to have. I think even like the pink would be real cute too. So I don't know, maybe I'll make a pink one because I have a ton of pink, or I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so those are my finished objects. Those have kind of taken up some time. So with that is my WIPS. I really only have one. The other one's kind of like whenever I feel like working on it. But this is my Daft Days cardigan. I can't remember how far I was on the last time I showed you guys. Maybe just the panel, like the whole body panel. But I actually have the front, and I'm starting the back panel right now. Because of I think the week's worth was the whole body. So like if you were to just look at, oh my gosh, this is everywhere. If you were just to look at this and the other side, that took about a week and a half. I don't know if that's because it's DK weight, but it's been flying by actually. Other than the fact I kind of took a pause while I finished the test knit, because I get so stressed out that I'm not going to finish it. Even though it's a baby size, I was just like, I should just get it done so that way once I'm done, I can continue working on my Daft Days cardigan. And then I worked on the kerchief because there's a bit of a timeline on that. I didn't realize it was only going to take like a few days to finish, which is great, because then that means I'm not rushing to make my baby cousins until maybe like a weekend or week before she comes. Then I can make it and bust it out then. But yeah, I'm really loving my Daft Days cardigan. I'm like feeling really inspired by the wrong side of the cardigan. Like I feel like this would be a really nice pillow cover. So I don't know, who knows, maybe in the future I'll just make a Daft Days pillow. But yeah, I'm in love. I love it. I feel like the colors, like working up the colors definitely brings a lot of joy. I feel like I might need more of the orange color, but maybe I won't. I have 40 grams of the yarn, which I think Rebecca said it would be 10 grams on the body and 7 for the sleeves. So I think that was for like the size 3 size. So I hope not, because then I'd have to pause again to order it and hope that it comes quickly. But yeah, so this, I don't know, there's not really much to say. Rebecca writes really great patterns. I really like her style of writing. And yeah, like I said, not much else to say. The yarn is Sanascarn Double Sunday in Almond. That's the main color. I have Explorer News and Fibers, Sorella, Silver Pennies Co., Sincere Sheep, and Gems Luxe Fibers. Most of them are, well, no, I think only 3 of them are California-based dyers. And we got North Carolina and Colorado represented, and Sanascarn is Norwegian. Got it all here. Got the whole world on my cardigan. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say. I'm enjoying the process, really. I do want the end product, so I feel like sometimes I'm like, I just need to get it done. But then sometimes I'm also like, I'm just enjoying like how it feels to make this up. So there's that. And because I'm like, I feel like I would call myself a monogamous knitter for the most part. I don't really have any other WIPs. I do want to make the pressed flower shawl. But for some reason, I feel like if I just jump into that right now, like it's going to be a lot in my brain, I guess. Like a lot of brain space that I don't know that I have right now. So that's kind of like I kind of want to finish at least majority of the Daphne's cardigan before I jump into the pressed flower shawl. My next WIP is a WIP that I had more done before, but it's fine. Things happen. It's the Moby sweater. I'm making the size for my husband. He picked the yarn out too. The yarn is Cascade 220. It's their Super Wash base, I believe, and it's the DK base. Actually, it's not the classic 220 worsted. I think on Wool Warehouse is called Grape Wine or something like that. There we are. Yeah, he really likes this color. This year seems to be like the year of purple for him. He really likes these deeper tones. So who am I to deny him what he likes? So I think I mentioned it last time, but I started knitting it up and then not realizing that the actual pattern calls for a worsted weight and not a DK weight. Otherwise, I would have ordered worsted. I just ordered a ton in the same color because we wanted to have one matching with my husband and my baby. It didn't happen at the same time though, so my baby's definitely does not fit the sweater anymore, so I'll have to make him one later, potentially in the same yarn color. We'll see if it still exists around then. But for sure, just working my way through this one, not giving myself any rush. Husband's birthday's not till the end of the year, and if I don't get it done by then Christmas. For sure, like he's getting it this year, but yeah, that's just my other WIP right now. I don't have any acquisitions. I guess an update-ish is that also in the course of the 2 weeks, tragedy struck with my technology. I had good notes on my iPad. I had all of my stuff saved, but because I guess I didn't back it up, I had enough space. I guess I had assumed that everything automatically backed up and I hadn't enabled that, or I had enabled that, but I guess I hadn't. So one day it just crashed. My iPad just turned off and then did a hard reset on its own. Obviously, it was very scary and terrified me to pieces, but everything turned out fine. Because of that, I actually started frogging something and did not vlog any of it, but that's fine. And yeah, I think I was mostly devastated because I had some pictures I took of my baby on there, like his Easter pictures, and they were actually pretty nice. I took some on our phones though, so that was okay. It wasn't as devastating, but because of that, I was like hyper vigilant of doing stuff. I think that's why too I didn't really want to film for a while, because I was like, this is really like stressful on me because of just losing all of that, I guess. But it ended up being fine, you know, nobody's hurt, nothing happened. But because of that, I started to journal physically again for my knitting notes. I picked out I started writing in this and then stopped. They were just notes on books I was reading, and it just started getting tedious, I guess, but now I'm using it for my knitting and it's actually been quite fun. So I have what I want to make in 2024. I have them separated by category. I have some notes for potential yarn review later for like the first quarter. So I didn't have those like printers that make stickers of your photos. I just had my Polaroid printer thing. It's like the Instax printer. It's kind of thick and I didn't really like that, but I do have that here. I also wrote some of my notes on Ravelry too. So I kind of just have like the sample here, and then I put like, sample, and then I have my same thing here, but this is just the finished object. I also don't like the color, how it prints either. I did get a good use out of it. I have like so many pictures printed from it, but I think I'm honestly ready to let go of it, and I'm actually going to be passing it on to my sister, so it's not getting thrown away and I'll still get use. I also have my little spring board and like some keywords and terms that I feel like encompass everything that I like. and like the colors and just ideas of what to do and spring pattern ideas as well. And then I have some random pictures that include yarn. I have my Daft Days page and the cardigan that inspired me. I like by no means have really nice writing, so there's that. This is also my progress. The Daft Days will probably take a lot longer, of like more pages than I expected, but honestly that's fine. I have this beautiful page of the test knit. This is Helena's sample, and then now I can take a picture of my finished object and print it. Oh, that's what I was getting to. So since I'm passing on the Instax to my sister, because like, I don't know if you can tell, you probably can't because it's a shadow, but it is kind of thick and it's a little heavy and I don't like that. So I did buy the HB Sprocket printer. So it's like turns it into stickers on a recommendation from a friend. And I do like it a lot, and I might be using it for more than just my knitting notebook. So I'm very excited. I also found other notebooks that I had made with the intention of it being a knitting notebook, but I just never saw through because I wasn't like serious about it because I was doing it all digitally. And I think digitally, sorry, that was like, anyway, I guess I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my pen to paper type girly era because like that was just awful. Like I was in the middle of working with the test knit and all of my notes that I had written on because I have my stuff usually on GoodNotes, and everything that I had written on the pattern to like write up as notes and feedback for the designer was on there, and I was like, this is excruciating. So I'm just gonna go ahead and notate them here, and then I'll upload it to Ravelry later because that was too heartbreaking for me. But yeah, everything ended up being okay. Like I said, it was just that. And then now, but because of that, like when I signed into like GoodNotes updated while I had it on my iPad, and it's a GoodNotes 6, which I did not purchase or opt in for. I really liked how GoodNotes was functioning for me then. I signed back in, and like I have nothing there anymore. And even like I tried signing into my account, and it was like, if you want to go back to the legacy one, like just sign in and enable, like download everything from your cloud. Again, I thought I had did that, but I guess I didn't. So like there's the lesson learned there. So I have nothing from my account there. I don't even have my legacy account. So it's like I'm starting a brand new account. So then I asked on Instagram, like what you guys like reading your patterns on, because obviously like that was devastating. So like I'm pretty limited on GoodNotes now. And I was like, you know what, like I'm kind of over it. Some people mentioned Knit Companion, and I guess maybe I did hear about it on videos, like on Very Pink Knits or something, but I guess it never really hit me because I really liked the functions of GoodNotes, and I was using it a lot for work too, so it just didn't really seem like anything urgent, I guess, to try out. But now I'm trying it out and I really love it, actually. I love the highlighting of each line. It's really great for my eyes. I have astigmatism and I'm also pretty farsighted, so just having that is really nice. So yeah, that's my new journey and how I read my stuff. I'm actually like, you know what, maybe I should invest in printing my pages too for my patterns and putting them in a binder and just having those little sleeves just in case, you know. This is why I always believed that the hard copy was always better than the digital, but I let myself get swayed. Just it's being dramatic. But anyway, I think that's it for now. I don't really have anything else to mention other than that. If you guys are on Instagram, feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's Breeze Knits. My Ravelry is also the same, and it's also the same on Pinterest and here too. And if you really liked today's video, please consider giving it a like, subscribe, maybe sharing it with some friends who also like fiber related things. And yeah, have a good rest of your week, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye!